So, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another video here on SkyTie's YouTube channel. And today, we're going to be making something a little different. We're going to be making these SkyTies, whatever you call them. These things for you to attach your slider. We see a lot of these being sold, but rarely do they have the Velcro for the safety. And also, you know, I just figured that we can make a bunch because they're easy enough to make. So for this, we're going to need 5 different things. We're going to need the main webbing, so this piece of webbing here. We're going to need the elastic. We're going to need the Velcro to attach the elastic. We're going to need the magnets, and we're going to need a little bit of trim tape for this. So that's it, not a lot of things. I've gone ahead and already pre-cut everything, just so that it's easier. This is the webbing we're going to be using. It's type, I don't know what type it is. You can use type 8 webbing. I wouldn't use type 7 just because it's too rigid. You can also use every, like, you know, 1 3/4 inch pieces of webbing, because it's really not that, you know, it's not going to be load bearing or anything. So you can use whatever you have at hand. Doesn't really matter that much. Same for the elastic. It's the only thing that I didn't pre-cut, and it actually fell down the whole roll, so I'm gonna have to pick it up. Oh, I did pre-cut it. Yeah, I thought I did, but I did it. It's already here, pre-cut. And the webbing, we can also pre-cut it. It doesn't need to be precise. We can adjust it later. Pre-cut here. And then the pieces of Velcro, I also pre-cut. I think they fell down, so I'm gonna have to look for them just a second. Okay. All right. Yeah, somehow they fell down. I'm not sure the where. We're gonna have to find them in a little bit. But that's not oh, here it is. 1 piece of Velcro, and then another piece of Velcro. We can just stick it to each other because we're going to need both, and then we can cut more or less this much, which is what I think is a good amount. I would actually start getting to it. So the actual measurements, this is 40 centimeters. By doing it 40 centimeters, it's going to give you 25 centimeter T. I find that 20 is too short. Over 25 it flaps around too much. Not that I use it, but 40 is the perfect amount for you to have the excessive lengths that you need. Now normally you will see one that's done like this, it's folded in half, but then because of the stitch tension, it actually compresses it a little bit and it creates a weird effect. So I'm not really a fan of that. We're gonna do it my way. Oh, and I almost forgot. Obviously we're gonna need the magnets, which I ordered neodymium magnets. They have to be neodymium, and then the size you can actually play around with. If you're a skydiver, hopefully you have access to the magnets that are used for flaps and whatnot. They're 1 inch, and then they are 3 or 4 millimeters in diameter. These ones are 25 millimeters by 3, which I would have gotten them a little bit bigger if I knew they were. They look super small. They don't look like they're the size that they are, but they're gonna work. They're fine as long as they're neodymium and they're more or less this dimension. You're gonna be fine. It's not a big problem. So let's actually start doing the whole thing, and then the magnets are the last thing we put in. So let's start with the side that you actually grab onto, and then we'll do the elastic side last. So here's how it goes: little fold like this. Then you make a little bit of a bigger fold, about 3 centimeters. So it's gonna be a little bit bigger than your magnet. If your magnet is 1 inch, maybe do 1 1/4 inch fold, just like so. And then fold it again inside, fold it again the other way. So the pattern that you're going to fold is just like this. Let me show you. And then what you do is gotta stitch it up, all sides except for one. This is what we're gonna do now. Meet it up, and let's stitch. Now make sure you really go on the borders, Because if you stitch too much inside, then there's not going to be any space to shove the magnet in. I've done a bunch of these, and I cannot tell you how many times I have made the mistake of making the stitch too tight. Too tight in the sense that when I want to put it in the magnet in, it's a pain in the ass. So here we did, let me show you. Here we did one stitch, and then the other one, and then this one we actually have to put the trim tape inside. So that's what we're gonna do now. Show you again. Bend it in half. Put it in here. If you need, you can lift up the shoe or whatever this is called. Make sure not to make any mistakes like I was gonna do. There you go. Just put it in there. Try to center it up. Again, it doesn't need to be perfect, but it helps if it is. There you go. And now, oh, I was actually gonna finish the stitch, but before we do, before I close it off, we can put the magnet inside already. So grab one of the magnets. These are hardcore magnets, Jesus Christ. Put the other ones far away. And then here's something that you should have in consideration if you're making this at home. The magnets can affect the way the intricate metals work inside of the machine, is what I've personally found, at least. So do pay some attention to that when you're stitching. Here's more or less the size. Again, it's like a €1 coin if you're European, and then it's about the size of a €1 coin, is that what I would say. Put it in. It's gonna try to stick to the metal of the machine, but you gotta try at least. Oh god, yeah. See, because it's a strong magnet, so it just tries to stick onto everything. Jesus. Oh god, come on. There you go. Push it in. Look at this. Oh yeah, it's a challenge. If there's a more elegant way of doing this, please let me know, because this is always a pain. Like to put the magnets in here. Oh god. Now we're gonna actually close off the stitch, and make sure again that the magnet is somewhat move the side for this, and also make sure the magnet doesn't get pulled all of a sudden, which can happen, and then it can get pulled and your needle can hit the magnet, and then it's going to break your needle. And if pieces of metal are flying around, it's always dangerous for your eyes, isn't it? So yeah, be careful with that. Cut off the excess lines. And as you can see, it does affect a little bit the way the machine works because of the magnet. I don't know how it works exactly, but it messes up the stitch tension. So the stitches are not going to be perfect, but they work, so that's fine. Here's what it looks like. One side is done. Let's just clean it up a little bit better. There you go. Give it the old flame. There you go. Alright, let's do the other side now. Pretty similar technique, but instead of doing a fold that allows for an indentation for you to put the trim tape, you just need to do two overhand folds, not overhand folds, two folds, whatever. And since my elastic is more or less the same width as the magnet itself, I'm going to use the elastic as a reference. It just needs to be a little bit bigger. Center this up, and boom. Just make sure it's even. It is. Nice. And now let's stitch this up. All right. Now the magnet. Grab another magnet. And put it in. I wonder if the magnet warehouse is like ultra-magnetic place that you almost die from just being inside because of how many magnets are there. It's probably hilarious. If you have keys in the pocket, probably you'll stick to the damn walls. Okay, just shove the magnet in, and now, last but not least, close this part off and close it off here as well. All right, perfect. Let's cut the excess line. Burn it off, the tips, boom, perfect, looks good. So as you can see now, we've got the mechanism working. Oh, and by the way, make sure the magnets are oriented the right way, which can easily happen, like not, which you can easily put them not, but the way that I do it, you can actually flip them around inside here. There might be a way where you can't, but just make sure that they're oriented the right way, otherwise they will not attract each other. They'll try to push each other away. So finally, the Velcros. I used about a regular 1 or 2 inch like piece of Velcro that I cut to have about 4 centimeters. Sorry about mixing up the measurements. And just cut it in half. Put them, stitch them to each other, and I cut it in half. Then I pick up both female Velcros. I put them on both sides of the elastic, one on each side facing outwards. Stitch it up. Stitch it up. Again, the order that we're doing this is probably not the best, because the magnets should be the absolute last thing you put in here, just because they're gonna be a pain in the ass to work with afterwards. They're constantly gonna be sticking to random parts of your sewing machine. And now, this is the tricky part, or not tricky, but you gotta pay attention. One of the male Velcros, you're gonna stitch it normally, facing up. Just like so. This is normal. Normal, normal, normal. Normal, normal, normal. Remove this. And then, on top of it facing down, you're going to stitch the male to the male. It's not going to stitch too well, but it's going to stitch a little bit. And then on the end, go through 2 or 3 times. See what I mean when it keeps sticking up? Go 2 or 3 times just to stick this in. Just like so. As you can see, it's going to be attached like this. That's what we want. Because now, look, what we can do is open it up, meet it in the middle, and close it. Now it's going to make nice contact. It's supposed to stay like this for indefinitely. Hopefully you'll never get to use it. The idea is that if, while this is attached to your reserve flap, if you perform a cutaway, let's say that you have a cutaway due to canopy collision, thermal activity that caused you line twist or something. What can happen, and this has happened before, while the elastic is closed, the lines of the slider will wrap around here, which it's really normal to happen. It happened to me when I used it. That's why I started using removable slider. Then if you cut away for some reason, it can get stuck in here. And then let's say you do a cutaway where you're like wanting to cut away, free fall a little bit, and then open the reserve. You'll be hanging from the main through here, and yeah, it can open your reserve. It can open the reserve flap, but it's a lot of strength that it takes to open the reserve flap. So this is a fail-safe point that will unstitch. The Velcro will undo itself, and hopefully you'll be free. So it's finished, guys. This is exactly how you do it. If you have any questions or complimentary information, you can add them in the comment section down below. Follow me on social media, and if you want to buy one of these, contact me. I can sell you one. More people steal them than buy them, but whatever. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.